Hi fam, you are hanging out tonight with Meg and Brett.
Hello.
Kind of a classic matchup. It's been a while.
A matchup.
Yeah.
It's not a competition, Meg.
We're hobbying. A competition.
We're hobbying today.
We are.
We are coming down. We're hungover after the Maelstrom mixer.
Yeah, and we've switched over to our summer clothes too.
We're switched over to our summer
that
clothes.
Came up today.
Because it is officially summer in California.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone.
Yeah, welcome. It is a party already. We have like so many gifted memberships and we've already seen some party lights. So let's get through those first. Thank you guys. Zach. Hi Zach.
Hi Zach.
He's in the other room. Member for 7 months. Brett and Meg, top memory from Mixer. We're going to get to that.
We're going to get to that.
That's going to be our stream today. Our stream today we are talking about Mixer. Nothing else but Mixer.
If you have been hanging out with us in hobby chat, hanging out with us during these live streams for the last couple weeks, you will have heard us. Oh my gosh. I'm not dying, everyone, I promise. That is my glucometer telling me I have low blood sugar, but I've been stuffing my face with
Quick, get this man a Thin Mint.
Thin Mints for the last 10 minutes. So it's just my biology is taking a little bit of time to catch up.
I know about
but we have been hobbying for this event for the last, well, several months, but on stream for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And it happened this past weekend. We did it. We put on a narrative event.
Our very first one.
And it was rad. Everyone came out. We're just going to share a bunch of photos with you. We live streamed the whole thing. It was super cool. Thanks for joining us if you did in the live stream.
Yeah. And if you haven't, all million hours are available to you. They are time stamped, so you can get to the important parts of the games.
Amazing.
Yeah. Soups, thank you for your 5 gifted memberships and the party lights.
Thank you, Soups.
Yeah, always supporting the channel.
And for hanging out with us during the vast majority of the, you know, 2 10+ hour live streams that we had this weekend.
Yeah.
That was so amazing to have you in that chat.
It was nice. That was what was nice about streaming all day is we got the folks across the pond. And then lastly, thank you, Chris, for your 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris is always hanging out with us in
Great
chat.
to see you.
And in Hobby Hang, and we're happy to have you again.
Yeah, and I'm working on Crew today,
yeah,
Chris.
What are we doing?
You'll be very excited. Chris is building a Tau army and painting a Tau army.
That's cool.
So we're gonna be Tau buddies for a little while.
Yeah. Hobby-wise, we're just working on stuff. I'm still working on my Raptidons that I took with me to Maelstrom Mixer because I decided to make this hard on myself.
You've been
using too many colors.
You've been working on Raptidons for a long time, which is awesome. They're really coming together.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I'm pretty happy with how they're going, but they have a lot of details, and I decided to give every detail a different color.
I mean, there's no deadline for this army,
They've
right?
sat, well, you know what, there kind of is, because I'm taking them to Old Town Throwdown in August.
Okay.
And I need to learn the rules.
That's not a deadline. That's a very far away deadline.
And I need to win Best Painted at Old Town Throwdown.
Okay. Well,
so, anyway, I do need to get busy.
Very hobby collab themed army, too.
Yeah. So we're going to be working on stuff. The focus is the event. So I think we should probably get started with that.
Awesome.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, you're working on dinosaurs. I'm working on dinosaurs.
We're all working on dinosaurs.
It's a Dinosaur Wednesday today.
Yeah. Let's talk about Maelstrom Mixer. So we'll get to the slideshow in a second, but we do have a video of our top table, which was really the star.
Oh my gosh. There were so many cool things about this event. Like, even if you didn't get to play on this crazy table, it was so cool to see. A lot of, you'll recognize the crystals that Saray painted.
Yeah.
Here, there's the power generators, the Dawn of War scenery power generators that Zach and Saray painted are on this board. It was just an absolute like crazy monstrosity of every possible cool terrain gimmick that we could think of. Lights, motion, real water. Sculpted sort of uppy downies, resin pours. We had a soundscape.
Yeah.
There were like
also a smellscape.
A smellscape.
We should talk about the smellscape.
Did we have smells?
No. Well, not on
Just
purpose.
Spilled beer.
Not on purpose. There was some sort of weird. You guys, if you were there and near the top table, let me know if you smelled it. There was like some weird mildewy smell in that area. I don't think it was the table.
Oh no, I think it was. I think it was all of the moss that we used.
Maybe that's what it was that I smelled.
So, yeah. So the center water feature there. that's green.
It's not algae.
That was clear water, but Michael put some of the green sort of moss foliage that he used for the trees. He put that in the water.
Yeah.
And it immediately, like all of the green dye diffused and made the water green tinted.
Yeah.
Like we did not add pigment to the water. It was just the green moss that he added to the water got like the dye sort of washed off and became all, it tinted the water fluorescent green,
Honestly,
which is kind of crazy to see.
I thought it worked really well. I mean, obviously it's dyed by the moss of the table, so it matched.
Yeah.
But I mean, it made it just look a little more like overgrown and swampy.
Yeah, no, it was fine.
Liked.
It was a really good look, a little happy accident there, which was cool. But yeah, this was we did this cool thing. So there were 4 war zones in the event as a narrative event. Each war zone had a slightly different but related sort of narrative. Oh my gosh. Go away. Nobody wants you, glucometer. All right, phone is off. But yeah, each war zone had the opportunity to play one game over the course of the weekend on the head table. And it was cool. People seemed to be into it. There were some environmental hazards if you played on that board.
Oh man, we have to talk about that because that did impact a couple of people's games.
Oh my gosh, it kind of all came together at the last minute, and so some of the resin pours weren't quite cured yet. So we had to sort of have this briefing with people before they played on the thing, in addition to sort of teaching people how to, where not to stand to not block the cameras for the live stream, how to sort of equip the mics so that people could hear you, also like lighting and, yada, yada. All of the sort of live stream stuff. There was all of these environmental hazards we had to warn people about. Make sure you don't put your models on the resin pour that wasn't quite cured yet. Make sure you don't put your models with magnetic bases near the like super strong electromagnets that were making the crystals float. Make sure you don't have like a pacemaker or aren't like, epileptic because there's flashing lights.
Table. Yeah, so
there's this laundry list of like things not to make sure you don't do in order to not like suffer serious health consequences.
We should point that out in this picture. So we have like a photo of this up. So the pools where there were glowing lights, those are govies. They're like our lights.
Yeah,
We should have hooked them up to super chats next
that
time.
would have been
That would have been really funny. There were a couple pools that were not cured, not fully cured, and they, I think they were set all at the same time, right?
So because of time constraints, we poured all the resin, and then some of them didn't cure all the way, but we also sort of bought the super slow cure deep pour resin because some of the lakes were going to be 1.5 inches, 2 inches deep, but the deep pour resin said on the package that it could take up to 5 to 7 days to cure, and we poured it like the Wednesday before the event. So it was like, we only really had 2 days to let it dry. Yeah. And so when it was tacky, we were like, oh shoot, we're not gonna have enough time for all of this to cure. So Michael went out and bought like a second package of like 24-hour resin and poured the second layer of that. So we were sort of like, I think it's not a big deal, like pouring a fast cure resin over top of a slow cure resin. I'm not sure. But yeah, for better or worse, one of the pools was a little bit tacky. And even with sort of informing people about it ahead of time, we still had a few casualties.
I mean, when you're playing, it's easy to forget that kind of thing, and people bump into things. I know this. Like
you're focused on the game.
Over. Yeah, so it's fair. But you were sweet. Like you helped them like clean their stuff.
Somebody's model, Mitch's model got stuck in there, and Melody's hair ended up like dripping, like sort of got a little bit of resin on it.
It'll be cured for next year.
It'll be cured for next year. Yeah. Maybe. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it was a wild effort to get it built. People seemed to really be into it, which was awesome. And and yeah, we didn't get. I'm curious. I haven't sent out the feedback forms yet, but one of the things we tried to do was make gameplay actually sort of fun on it. Have terrain sort of work for 10th Ed 40K, and couple different deployment zone options and a couple different objective placement locations so that it wouldn't be sort of repetitive, both for the audience, but also like we spent all this time building this board. We don't want it to like just sit in a closet.
Right.
We want to be able to use it sort of in an ongoing fashion. And if it really only works for 1 or 2 deployment zone layouts or objective layouts, then that doesn't really work.
So much work and love went into this board.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
I am prepared to call it a success. Michael mostly got the actual water feature working, but he has some ideas about how he wants to sort of make it better. The idea there was that we would basically have the recirculation path, the water being pumped up to. So there's this island that's meant to be floating, and there's meant to be a waterfall off the island that is floating. And the recirculation path for the waterfall was meant to be up inside a clear acrylic tube that the waterfall was sort of falling down the outside of. And so the idea was that in theory, you add a little bit of texture to the outside of the acrylic tube to kind of break up laminar flow so that as the waterfall is sort of falling down the outside of this acrylic tube, it doesn't just look like it's falling down a tube. It sort of looks like an actual waterfall, but the reality is on the inside of the waterfall, there's a clear acrylic tube that's supporting the weight of the floating island, but also housing the recirculation path for the waterfall flow. So that was the theory. The reality was we couldn't quite get the water to sort of fall down the tube, and the tube was pretty visible. But Michael has some ideas about how to fix that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
honestly, no, you're not cutting me off. We're just going to cut each other off all day because we're so excited. I thought when I looked at it, it looked intentional. Like maybe it's a magical perfect stream. Like that sort of thing. Like purposely to raise the platform up. Like that's kind of how I read it.
Nice. Cool.
And it looked cool.
Let's go with that.
People were impressed, you know. But I mean, improvements are always like cool, right? But I would say it worked.
Yeah. It looked good, kind of regardless of how you interpreted it. And Michael and I we came up with a plan. He was like, hey man, like we were sort of exhausted at the end of the last day. And we were packing up and he was like, hey man, how about with this? Let's, like a week, let's take a few days, get our feet under ourselves, recover from this thing. And then like you and I spent all this time and energy and effort, and actually a lot of people did from the club, but like, let's like,
especially you and Dunsmore.
Let's play a game on this thing. Like, let's get together a week, 2 weeks from now. We'll come over to my house. We'll like crack a couple beers, and we'll just like play a game on this table that we all
you guys
spent
should
so much
enjoy
time.
it.
And so I think we'll figure out something to do. But it was I think what we should do is get the whole planning team together. Everyone who sort of worked on organizing the event over at either his house or my house, and we'll bring the board. We'll play some games. We'll grill some burgers.
Is it something we can borrow for Age of Sigmar?
Yeah, for sure.
Guys, who do you guys want to see play on this board first?
Well, it's got to be dinosaurs. This looks like a Seraphon board, right?
Yeah.
So maybe your Raptidons that you're painting tonight can make their debut.
My Raptidons and a bunch of gray plastic and sticks.
Oh yeah, that'll look great.
Because that's about where we're at. I have some Raptidons. I have my Saurus Warriors, and I have a Salon. And then I can have a bunch of sticks.
That sounds like an army to me.
What do you guys think?
It sounds like an army to me.
Yeah. Okay, what about the magnets? Because I know they were underneath the spinning. The spinny guys, right?
So we did a whole show on this. Saray painted the crystals.
Well, let's remind everybody, because I want to know where were the pacemakers at, like at risk.
Yeah, this was a cool thing. So you can buy this widget on Amazon or AliExpress. They're like $65 on Amazon or like $45 on AliExpress. And it's basically a magnetic coil with a permanent magnet built into it, and then it hovers a second permanent magnet on top of it. And then we 3D printed a enclosure that looked like a crystal that kind of like fits on top. Hey, thank you, Molecule.
Thanks, Molecule.
And when you do that, and then you hide the sort of infrastructure piece, the permanent magnet and electromagnets inside something. In this case, it was a little ziggurat like thing.
Yeah.
And then and then it just looks like it's floating. And it does this cool thing where it like, if you start it spinning, it just keeps spinning because it doesn't have anything to stop it. And at first I was like, oh, that's annoying. It's like it's spinning. I want it to just look like it's floating. But then I very quickly realized like, oh, that looks way cooler.
Oh, we all liked the spinning.
The spinning was like
yeah.
the star of the show.
The spinning was cool.
It was definitely another happy accident. Yeah.
Is there any way for me to make my croak float like that? Like without having to hook it up to
That was actually
electricity?
how...
Because that's what I want to do.
That was actually how this all started. I'd never heard of these things, and Saray was like, hey, you know, what if you could use this thing to make a slan float. You'd have to build it into a base, and the base would have to be quite large. And you'd have to like make it battery powered.
Okay.
And it would, even after all of that, like the base would be giant. Even after all that, it would like be super tenuous. Like if you bumped it, the whole thing would just like explode.
Okay. I really wanted to have his little butt hovering over the seat.
Yeah.
Maybe I can just like use some clear acrylic and don't be so weird about it.
I think the better thing to do is if you have build it into a realm shaper engine, your terrain piece, and then just have a crystal floating above your realm shaper engine. That could be a neat little thing.
Yeah. We also had a hobby area.
We did.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was
I enjoyed that.
That was your like. You
my
sort of
little
ran
booth.
the thing. Yeah, it was awesome to see. And it was sort of doubled as a model repair station.
Yeah, which some people needed to use. So I was like, good. I'm glad I did this. My time here was.
Yep. You offered a valuable service. Yeah.
I love the hobby station. I mean, that's kind of where I was most of the time. I kind of acted as a runner as much as I could for these guys. And then when I wasn't, I was trying to get some progress done on these Raptidons. But we had a good group hanging out both days, which was nice.
Yeah, there were a few people, either like folks who had come by who were sort of associated with the event, but didn't sort of weren't actually participating in it. Devin was there and hung out for a little while. A few spouses.
Yeah. And then like just
Angela stopped by.
Some random people too, like people who didn't really know about the event till it was too late, but they were interested and they came and hung out.
Oh man, we almost had a last minute edition.
I know. I was so excited. Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't have enough points, it turns out, but.
Yeah.
That was neat to see. Like, oh my gosh, you guys playing Warhammer? I have the whole weekend off.
Dude, he recognized us from this Space Marine video. Thanks, Saray. He recognized us from the Space Marine video.
From the running Space Marine?
Yeah, he was like, what? I had to do a double take. And I was like, nice. I think his name is, it's Pizza.
Hayes.
Yeah, but
Hayes.
in our
Pizza
Discord,
Dog,
Pizza Dog, he just joined our Discord. So say hi to, say hi to Hayes and Pizza Dog.
I just doxed him with his real name.
I know, jeez.
Sorry,
Pizza Dog.
Sorry.
We do it to Molecule all the time. I want to do more with the hobby booth next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to do some kind of challenge, like something with like a prize or something.
Okay, so like a paint and take, or like hey, this over the course of the weekend, do this thing, and then it gets judged, and then
I'm always on a mission to get rid of bits, so I'm thinking like a kit bash
competition
challenge that we
judge
at the end, something like that. I don't know. You guys let us know if you have any ideas.
To be a competition. All right.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but like, prizes are fun. We'll get to that.
Yeah, everyone gets a prize.
There's the prize. These are the prizes that you gave out.
Maelstrom Mixer 2024.
Yeah, we're going to go through the winners. I was asked the other day in Hobby Hang, do you have pictures of the winning armies? And I was like, not with me, because I'm a bad content creator. But I knew Leah was taking pictures, so I kind of leaned on her, and we did some mix and matching on the table. But yeah, talk about the...
So we got these little cool light up trophies. These are from Squad Marks. Anyone can buy these trophies. We visited Squad Marks HQ in last fall as part of Old Town Throwdown, and when I emailed him to ask about event sponsorship, he was like, "Yeah, sure, we'll send you some Squad Marks."
Get your Squad Marks today.
And they are also an affiliate of ours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I emailed him to ask him about sponsorship, and he was like, yeah, absolutely. We'll send you some squad marks for your swag bags, but also, do you want trophies? And I was like, what? Do you sell trophies?
Cool.
And I was like, yeah. And I clicked on the webpage, and sure enough, they sell trophies. And it's, yeah, you just send them your design, and they laser cut it into some acrylic, and they put it on this base that is rad. It looks really good.
Yeah.
So that was a trophy. We had prizes for best painted and second best painted, which Devin judged. Mm-hmm. And we had a prize for best theme. So the idea was that best paint, the paint awards were not meant to like, I specifically instructed Devin to like ignore display boards.
There was one display board.
And if you had like, fluff for your army that you sort of put out, or if you had basically the paint awards were just meant to be like the paint on your models. Mm-hmm. So I asked him specifically to ignore everything except paint on models for the purpose of the paint awards. And then and then we had an award for best theme, which was meant to include all of that extra stuff. So the display board. Yeah. If you cosplayed, if you had like a little fluff, one pager next to your army.
You included all that stuff. That's great.
Theme, yeah.
Yeah, I missed that. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
So like if you wandered around all weekend, like basically like in character as the commander of your army, you probably would have just like won best theme. But so that was theme. And also like unit selection. So the idea was like, do you have sort of a cohesive idea about what your army is like meant to be doing, and like how it's constructed, and do your unit choices in game sort of reflect that? Yeah. Like how well do you sort of stick to the established lore when playing your games? Yeah. So that was our idea for theme, and then the last two awards that we gave out were for most epic moment and most tragic moment. And these, I think, are quickly becoming like some fan favorites, both like of people at the event, but also like us event organizers.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. We'll get to the actual winners of all of these awards, and then you can tell the stories. Okay. Really quickly, I did want to also call out our drink.
Oh, yes.
Look at this skull ice cube, guys.
So Meg designed the event logo, the Maelstrom Mixer event logo, which is a, do we have the sticker here? I didn't think to bring one.
I didn't either.
But we have the event logo is a rocks glass with a drink in it. A skull ice cube is in the rocks glass, and then a skewer on top of it with three things, a cherry, the Fault Line 40K, which is the name of the club that put the event on, the dice logo, that's like the logo for Fault Line, and then a skull. Yeah. So I when I was talking to the venue, I was like, hey, can we have like, can we basically like replicate this, our event logo in cocktail form? And the bar manager was like, yeah, we'll get some skull ice molds. Yeah. We'll make this purple cocktail using there's a couple different ways we could do it, and then we'll serve it in a rocks glass. We'll put a skewer with a cherry on it, and it was great. I absolutely loved it.
It was so cool.
It was tasty. It was fun. John, one of our event runners, came up with a cool name for it, the Synapse Disruptor.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Which was both fluffy because we're thematic, because the theme of the event was Tyranids.
Tyranids are invading.
So Synapse Disruptor was relevant, appropriate.
Yeah.
Frontline. Yeah, Migs.
Guys, really quickly, we're gonna end this poll pretty soon, and it's a very important poll because it's actually not summer, it's kind of spring, right? So we got to talk about spring cleaning a bit. Make sure that you take or vote in our poll so we can talk about it in a bit. We're going to be closing it soon. But why don't we go through our actual winners list of folks. This is Ollie.
Ollie won Best Paint.
He did. Look at that Tau.
He had
That's his Warlord.
He had an amazing Tau army.
And you guys saw him play on the second game.
Yep. Yeah. He was on the live stream, So if you want to see his army and he was also like a great like human. He really got into the game. He really was sort of a great sportsman. I think we didn't have a best sportsman award, but I think if we had, he would have been.
Ollie.
He also would have been like a great contender for that award. He was just like super chill, cool dude all around. I was a little sad when he told me he lives 2 hours away. I was like, oh, we're not going to get to hang out.
That's too bad. Next year.
Next year, yeah.
He's our once-a-year friend.
Once-a-year friend.
Yeah. What was his price? Oh my God, you guys, this is where I really messed up. The prize support for this thing was incredible. You're going to see the top prizes that were chosen here, because the first, the folks who won the actual prizes at the event got to choose their prizes first. Everybody at this event got a prize.
Yeah.
Nobody went home empty-handed. Plus, everyone got swag. It's a great, again,
it was cool.
It's a great event.
We had probably 44 people at the event, and we had like 50 prizes on the table, so everyone had a chance to pick something. Obviously, there were some that were better than others, so if you won one of the 5 trophies, having first shot at the prize table was a nice perk. But
yeah, if you guys can zoom into this picture, Ollie is holding a box of Artist Opus brushes.
Dry brushes.
Yeah, and like the dry brush board. So, and it was so funny because I was like, okay, Brett, if nobody takes that, it's mine. As if that wasn't going to get chosen.
The crazy thing is this was probably the 5th most valuable prize in terms of MSRP on the table.
Sure.
I think this retails for like $130 or something like that.
Yeah.
The Artist Opus dry brush set. But like, it was definitely not like sort of from a dollar value standpoint, it's definitely not the most valuable prize.
But it was the one I wanted.
But it was the one that you wanted, Meg.
Definitely,
you were trying to bribe me to.
I was.
To put it behind the table.
Terrible. I'm a terrible event supporter. All right, this is Andrew Haas.
Andrew Haas won second best paint.
He played Black Templars.
Also on the live stream.
He was on first.
First, yeah.
So you can watch him play if you go back for the rewatch. But another beautiful Warlord over there. And then those are some of his models on the table. So he won runner-up for best painted.
Yep.
And I forget what he went home. Oh, he went home with the box set of
Army Painter.
Yeah,
the Army Painter war paints.
My gosh.
50 paints in a box.
That was a great prize too.
I've reached out to Army Painter multiple times, both last year and this year, to see if they donated a prize. Just heard nothing. It was like Army Painter, you have to reach out at least 2 months in advance, or else they won't even reply to you. Even if you do reach out 2 months in advance, they still probably won't reply to you. But somehow, Michael Dunsmore, the guy who built this board...
Come on, Matt Rose.
He saw him at Gamma, which is like a game industry convention that he goes to because Michael Dunsmore's a game designer.
Yeah.
He just was like, oh, hey, there's the Army Painter booth. Let me go talk to the guy. And he talked to the guy, and then like...
He got a hobnob.
A box showed up at his door.
Yeah. It just showed up.
FaceTime.
I love the idea that he didn't even tell him where he lived. He just like got a box.
He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. I got you.
This guy's in the bushes.
Yeah, so we got this was Andrew's prize, was 50-pack of Army Painter war paints. Not the speed paint box, the like Fanatic war paints, the new ones.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh my gosh, it was cool. All right, this is our best theme.
Best theme.
There's Digital Designer. Yeah, he got it with his little broccoli Tyranids.
So I am not a Pokemon enjoyer, but...
is that what this is based off of?
His
I'm not either.
High Fleet Tortuga, and Tortuga, as I understand it, is the name of a Pokemon that. Sorry, I've been purposefully mispronouncing it, just so you guys can all make fun of me. That is, I think, a turtle, and his all weekend long he was wearing Pokemon shirts. Like all of his shirts were like various Pokemon.
He was so cute.
And it was adorable, and he was a super good sport.
Very cool theme.
It was a cool theme. Cool, like he had spent a ton of time. Like all his models like went together really well, and he had this like cool they sort of had these floral growths on the top.
Yeah.
Like fungal growths on their backs.
Yeah, I kept calling them broccoli. I know it wasn't broccoli,
Broccoli.
but they just looked like little broccoli trees sprouting out
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
So what did he take home? What was that box? It looked like, I can't tell from here.
Oh, it was the Proxon wire cutter. The,
Oh,
like
yeah,
benchtop
the kind that
Proxon
Zach
wire
has.
Cutter. Yes.
That's
yeah.
another good prize.
Yeah.
You
So
guys,
so
your
last year
prizes are so good.
last year that Proxon wire cutter was like the most. It was like $100 MSRP, and it was like the best prize on the table. And this year it was like
not.
barely in the top 10.
Wow.
But Digital Designer really wanted it. We actually had 2 of them on the
Yeah.
prize table. I keep talking about how awesome the prizes were.
The prizes were great. You guys should come because you'll get like at least half of your ticket
No, you
value
get more,
back.
yeah.
I mean, you know, by
Between
the end of
swag
the
and
table,
everything, it's-
yeah, you're gonna get your money's worth. Plus, have a good time, which is
Yeah.
cool. Okay, this is one of the coolest parts I think about your event because it's very unique.
Yeah.
And this is the epic moment
Epic
and
moment.
epic fail.
Tragic moment.
Tragic moment. Okay, yeah. I keep calling it epic,
Epic
fail.
fail.
Yeah. So as players were playing their games, if something crazy happened that
Yep.
was either like really, really cool and epic, or like very, very sad and depressing.
Or hilarious.
And, you know, in a funny way,
In
right?
a funny way, yeah.
You would go grab a TO or an
event
organizer and tell them about it, and if you know, and they'd give you like a card or something.
Yeah, so we would award cards in the moment as like a perk, a one-time use sort of, hey, thanks for doing a cool thing. Here's like a one-time use upgrade card that you can use. You know, and we usually made it relate to the event. So if like your unit completely whiffed and like did nothing when it's shooting, we'd give you a card that was like reroll ones to hit with like, you know, 1 unit the next time you
second
shoot with them or
chance,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And
but
then you would go into the running for most
yeah.
coolest or not coolest, right?
So
moment.
all of us event organizers would sort of take notes, and then at the end of the event, we'd compare stories. Okay, here's all the like cool stories we heard from people with epic moments, and here's all the cool stories we heard from people with tragic moments. And then sort of the person with the most epic moment and tragic moment would win a trophy at the end. And yeah, so this was Amelia. She had an epic moment where she rapid ingressed her Flying Hive Tyrant, and she was playing against Adrian and his Imperial Guard, and he was like, "Oh no, I cannot have this Flying Hive Tyrant like in my backfield." And so he shot literally his entire army at the model you see here, the Flying Hive Tyrant.
His entire army.
And then it was down to 1 wound. It had like a feel no pain, and it had, you know, all of these sort of Tyranidy ways to kind of keep itself safe. And then it was down to 1 wound, and so he tank shocked it with the basilisk that was in the backfield. And he managed to kill it.
I don't know what that means.
He like charged it with the tank
Okay.
with the vehicle. But the basilisk is like an artillery piece. It's like not meant to be in combat.
Okay.
And so it finally goes down to
Is it like
tank
corpse
shock.
cart?
It's like corpse cart, yeah.
Oh
There
no.
you go.
Corpse cart's so weak.
So he tank shocks the Hive Tyrant with the basilisk, which also is like probably not a foregone conclusion, that especially since it had a feel no pain. But it did kill it. But she had just given it this upgrade, this Warlord upgrade that like allowed it to on death like do a bunch of mortal wounds to things around it.
Thank you for the hearts.
Thank you. And so it like, after sort of tanking his whole army's worth of shooting for a turn, it then like on death, like took a bunch of units out as well. So it was pretty sweet. It was a good story.
It's so
and
funny.
so she won the most epic moment.
That's a great
prize.
story. And what prize did she? Oh, this is another one I wanted. It's a Lucent Light.
Yeah, it's made by
huge.
Game Envy.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, the length of my forearm maybe on
Yeah.
2 sides, and it's a light that like basically opens up. I can't do it,
It's
but
got wings,
opens up
yeah.
all the way, and it just lights up your whole table.
Right.
It's amazing.
It's a painting light.
I want to get one for the studio. I'm feeling like we could like hide it under the camera and shine it.
interesting, yeah.
Like I'm wondering if we could,
Yeah.
because that would be a big game changer for us when we're painting on stream.
Yeah.
But that was a cool prize. Okay.
I ran into Kit, one of the owners of Game Envy at Adepticon, and I was like, hey, you sponsored us last year with like some brush beams and a exemplar wet palette. They're the people who make this wet palette we're using. But they had just finished their Kickstarter for this new hobby light. And I was like, would you be down?
Can we have that?
Would you be down to donate one of your?
Will you give that to us, please?
And he was like, yeah, I think we could do that. I was like, yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
What a good.
It's just schmoozing, right?
That was a good.
Top tip: if you're thinking about running an event, just go to Adepticon, talk to all the booths in the vendor area, and then ask. Just like shamelessly ask for things, and people will.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a numbers game. Sometimes people will say no.
Shameless.
But.
All right, here's Melody.
Oh, this is probably the coolest story of the event.
Yeah, this
takes the cake for me.
What was it?
Most tragic moment.
Tragic, thanks. Yeah.
So just to spoil it right off the bat, this is her Warlord here. Actually, no. Maybe that she was running a different Warlord in this game.
Yeah.
She was using a Phobos Lieutenant, I believe. And her Phobos Lieutenant has an ability that says when you get close to it. Sorry, let me back up. This Phobos Lieutenant was her Warlord, and her Warlord died before the game began. They had not rolled any dice.
It's not like someone broke it or stepped on it.
And it died before the first turn started. So here's what happened.
Yeah. I love this.
So the Phobos Lieutenant has an ability, and I actually didn't know this, but the Phobos Lieutenant has an ability that basically says when something gets close to it, it can make a reactionary move. So if you get within 9 inches of it or 12, I don't remember what it is, you can make a normal move like in any direction as a response. And so her opponent had a unit, I think her opponent was playing Genestealer Cults, and they had some bikes with Scout. So in the pregame Scout phase, like the bikes moved, and they moved close to this lieutenant. And then the lieutenant made a reactionary move in response to the bikes getting close. But
sorry, this was all before the game started?
Before the game, yeah. There's like pregame moves.
Okay.
I'm like Scout deploys and stuff.
So is this like redeployment, or
it's like
does this equate to anything in Sigmar? Like if Neferata gets to pick 3 units and change her deployment, would that count?
No, it's sort of like a hero phase move that only happens on the first turn or something.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
So it's like totally unique to 40K.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
So then, so you're not allowed to move within 9, but the ability triggers if you move within 12. So these Scout bikes moved within 12 of her lieutenant. Her lieutenant then got to reactionary move, a normal move, and in so doing, ended up moving within 12 of a Reductus Saboteur, who has another ability that says if you get within 12 of that unit, if somebody moves within 12 of that unit, they can they trigger an ability that does mortal wounds to it. Basically, they had sort of like pre-planted stealthy explosives there, and you trigger those bombs. And so her lieutenant moves within 12 of this Reductus Saboteur. They roll the mortal wounds. The lieutenant takes 5 mortal wounds and dies instantly before the game even starts. So is this like weird interaction? Liberty Fires, I wondered about that. I didn't question it because the story was amazing.
Yeah, what's he doing?
But
quit it.
Maybe
quit
that
it, Liberty.
Was real. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. I also I had some questions. I'm curious how you guys would do this. I think in competitive events, people are keen on if they see somebody doing something wrong, sort of stepping up into the game, hey, just so you know, you're playing this rule wrong. I know some people on the live.
Just so you know, you don't know what you're doing.
I know some people on the live stream making some rules mistakes, and I just let them play it out. It's like, hey, this is a narrative event.
Don't worry about it.
Not going to get bent out of shape about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Melody took home the carrying case.
Yeah.
It's one of those magnetic ones, right?
Yep.
So cool. So I'm glad that Melody got to have that horrible moment so that she could win a prize.
She told me before when we were putting out the prizes, she was like, "This is the one I want. If I have my choice, I really want this.
Good.
This carrying case."
I'm glad she got it.
And she got it. Yeah.
Really quick, we're taking a quick break to remind everybody, love and subscribe our show. Yeah, you know what? I didn't hit the button. There we go. Now it's official. If you're not subscribed, there's a lot of new folks following us now. So if you guys are watching, welcome.
Welcome.
This is how we do things.
This is what we do around here.
This is how we do things around here.
Paint models. Or I'm not painting anything. I'm just putting gap-filling old metal croutons.
We just work on stuff.
While chatting, while chit-chatting.
Hanging out with you guys. Yeah, we're trying to keep you entertained. We have segments all day, or all stream usually. Today our focus is on Maelstrom Mixer, so you're getting a lot of Maelstrom Mixer. We always have a very important poll. Yeah. Like all of our polls, they're very important.
VIP.
We'll go through that in a little bit. And then we're going to do fan stuff at the end. Today's fan stuff is going to be a critique. And we have to announce the monthly hobby challenge winner.
Exciting.
That has happened, and we missed announcing it on Sunday since we were at Maelstrom Mixer.
Right.
So yeah, give us a like or love and subscribe, please, guys. Let's take a quick break to see how things are going.
Sure.
And then we'll get back to Maelstrom Mixer.
I'm about to do this very stressful thing. So my project for today is putting these croutons on 50 millimeter bases so that they have a new base size. And the rules for the new crout detachment just came out. I'm excited about it. But I bought a bunch of 50 mil bases, and I've got 6 of these guys that are already built and painted. And I've got 3 that are sort of unbuilt that I'm building. So I have to rebase these old ones and build the new ones. But first I'm just going to pop off these guys from their bases.
I'm like expecting it to just crumble in your hands.
I mean, they're metal models, and so there's no slaughter, so they're gonna come off easily. I just I don't know. I'm like weird about. I don't like undoing things that I've already done. Are you that way, Meg? I know Zach is not that way. He just loves throwing old models in the garbage and starting over.
When I finish a model, I'm pretty much finished.
Is it done?
I want to say it is. Like, I do want to go back to my Nagash and add some freehand to his cape, but there's a million other things that need doing first, so it's kind of like, I don't know when that's going to happen.
Right.
It will. I always, get my stuff done. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Yeah. It just might take me a long time.
And you enjoy checking things off of lists. You're like,
I do.
It's not done until it's done, and when it's done, I'm going to check it off, and then I'm never going to think about it again.
And then once it's checked off, I'm like, well, if I keep working on it, I don't get to check it off again.
I don't get to check it off anymore. Yeah.
So yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, I did take my Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon and rebase him because his base was kind of pathetic. So I did that.
Okay.
So I do kind of feel your pain.
Rebasing a little bit?
Yeah. I took a basing class at, I don't know, I think it was LVO a couple years ago. And I was like, all right, let me put this to use.
Put this to work.
Let's do a better base here.
Yeah.
Speaking of basing, let's talk about that really quick, and then we can get back to ending our poll and then the Maelstrom Mixer. This guy.
Liberty, there was no tournament, there was no TO at this event. There was no sort of official rules agitator. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, sorry. We were talking about
I assumed it was you.
Yes, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I was by default. So.
Yeah. Guys, mandrels, we have another workshop coming up. Those of you who caught our fabric one, that was great to see you. I attended that. Yeah. I did a fabric project. So we do have another one coming up with Devin on the 19th at 7 p.m. It will be recorded for those of you who won't be able to attend. But yeah, he's going to basically go through how to base your model. And I need to put this event in our Discord. I still haven't done that yet. But I will do that after the stream. Basically, if you want to attend this workshop, you got to be a mandrel, or you need to be one of our top talkers or top texters in our Discord. And then you'll have access to it on the day.
And just to be clear, this is, Devin is an amazing painter. You would pay, $80 for a class of this length and depth at a con at Kubla Khan
I did.
or Nova.
I signed up for his OSL class at Nova. Yeah. So this is like a fraction of that cost.
This is an $80 perk that you get for $4. And there are multiples of the, there's like...
Well, it's 8. It's Mandrill.
Oh, it's Mandrill. $8.
It's Mandrill, yeah.
Okay. And are we doing one of these a month or 2 a month?
So far, the cadence is one a month.
Okay.
The more Mandrills we get, the more we can invest in this kind of thing.
Right.
So that's where we're at. But for now, you get this one,
great.
guys. So if you're not a Mandrill and you're interested in trying out this class, become one. You can be a Mandrill for the whole month. You don't have to subscribe month to month. You can just, monthly, you can just
there's
buy
a class
it for
you
a month.
like, you just buy a month, and then you get a $80 class for $8.
And you can catch up on our old
90% off.
Mandrill stuff as well. So we have a few videos and things
for
Mandrills.
Behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. So that's a fun little purchase if you're interested, guys. But yeah, also folks who are super active in our Discord also get access to that. So if it's not in the budget for you, try that. Join our Discord. All right, guys, let's end our poll so we can get back to Maelstrom Mixer.
What are you spring cleaning, Meg? I'm curious what you're...
What am I spring cleaning? Yeah.
Are you doing anything? Are you just acquiring things?
No, please don't ever buy me anything. Anyone, ever. Never, ever. Because
I hate gifts.
Well,
Meg said it here.
I hate presents. If you're going to buy me something, give me something like
edible.
That I can eat.
Yeah.
Right?
Girl Scout cookies.
Because it'll go, oh my God. Yeah, give me more Thin Mints. Our house is just more and more taken over by the studio.
By warhams?
And so, which is great. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't have room for like normal things or tchotchkes or memories. Like all my I have photo albums. They're like tucked away, shoved in a closet. Like things that I bought as like a decoration. I'm like, you gotta go. Like I don't need you. You gotta go now. So I am going with stuff taking up precious mini space. That's what I'm getting rid of.
You're getting rid of everything that's not Warhammer related.
I'm trying to condense my life into like certain areas of our house and protect them as much as I can. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah. What about you?
We're trying to sell a car. That's our thing. We're gonna try to go down
one car like us.
Get rid of a car, yeah.
Yeah.
So my car is a manual transmission, and Leah doesn't know how to drive a manual transmission, so it's going to be the one that we get rid of. It also, the insurance on it is more money, and it's less fuel efficient, yada yada. There's lots of reasons why we should keep Leah's car and not mine, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
But it has a giant crack in the windshield.
Oh, that's annoying.
So step one before I can sell my car is to get the windshield fixed.
Is it illegal to sell, or are you just trying to make it easier to sell by fixing it?
I'm assuming.
I have no idea.
If I just have insurance pay to fix the windshield, that I can sell it.
Terrible.
Right, like I'm not.
Yeah.
It'll sell a lot easier.
It's an ease thing.
Yeah.
Well, chat decided they're not spring cleaning. They're just going to be hoarders.
Everyone's
They're just keeping all their stuff.
I love it.
Which is fair. Why should you get rid of your stuff if you love it? Did anybody pick Pile of Shame from 3 editions ago? Yes.
No. Oh, one
15%.
person did. Two people did.
I was wondering if anybody would pick that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad. Giving up hope.
Hobby Night, I'm curious how much of your move stuff is like pack and take with, or like just get rid of. Yeah.
With a tear rolling down your cheek.
It's hard to. I mean, I feel like moves are a great time to sort of take very serious look at like how
like, do I really want to pack this and take this with me?
Yeah.
I really want to deal with that. Guys, Hobby Night is in our chat. Please say hi to Hobby Night. Go bombard her page with love. Give her some love. Say that Hobby Collab sent you.
It was so cool to see.
It was great to meet her. And we have some
her at Maelstrom
pictures.
Yeah,
we'll pull those up. I guess we can get back to that. We have so much still left to cover. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, we didn't actually even finish the prizes because there's Saray. There's our Saray.
Saray didn't win a prize.
He didn't win a placement or anything. Like we said, everyone
got a prize.
Paid for a ticket, which Saray did, got a prize. And so Saray got some Sigmar terrain. So you guys are going to see that on stream.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure, yeah.
He picked the Sigmar terrain off the...
Oh, sorry.
It was like... it could have been either 40K or... It was sort of just like a... a stone building. It could have been either. But yeah. I think it was officially, I think it was Sigmar terrain. But he was very excited.
Yeah, it's a good prize. Okay, the one prize that we don't show here that was a big fucking deal.
Oh, BFD.
That nobody picked was the ticket.
No, somebody picked it.
I mean, sorry, out
James
of this group.
Oh yeah, out of the top 5, nobody picked it.
Yeah, but it was a Grand Narrative ticket.
Yeah, so Games Workshop events team
gave Fault Line one.
Was super excited to I was not allowed to talk about it.
We're not allowed to talk about it. And we didn't. See that, Matt Rose? We can keep secrets. Somebody clip that and send it to him, please.
But now we're talking about it. I actually don't know.
Which I think is fine.
I'm not sure if it's fine.
Because that person has now received the ticket. They're going to tell people.
That's not why. He was like, I don't want like 15 people asking me for...
Fine.
And the event's still
don't clip it.
6 months away.
Sorry, Matt Rose. I thought it was fine. This isn't my event. Don't blame Brett.
But
thank you for the laughs.
It was cool. No, people are going to talk about it because they saw it at the event table.
And we're going to sit there and be like, we don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know what you're talking
about. I
about.
don't know how you find out about that.
Go ask Matt Rose. Matt Rose is like, I don't play 40K.
What are you even talking about? What is a Grand Narrative? I don't even know what this is.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, that was a prize. So you should come next year.
GW events team was awesome and donated I think the MSRP is like $300.
Holy moly.
And donated a ticket to the Grand Narrative, which is in Atlanta this year in November. So yeah, I was surprised that it was not sort of in the top 5, but I sort of get it. I know,
but this is a narrative event. Right? Is it? Oh, it's a Grand Narrative.
It's the Grand Narrative, yeah.
Okay,
no, but the thing is, it's in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta.
And it's the week before Thanksgiving. So.
And it's not like they're buying your plane ticket.
And they're not buying your plane ticket. They're not buying your hotel ticket. Yeah. So you have to know that you already want to go, haven't bought your ticket yet, and like be down for $1,000 weekend because that's probably what it's going to be. Even with the
still
free
cool.
Event. Still super cool. And fingers crossed, sort of maybe opens the door for more collaboration with the GW events team in the future, which is kind of, as an event runner, is sort of like my goal is to kind of grow that relationship,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was great.
Very cool. Very cool.
Okay. We need to talk about the creators of the event. Now, Angela, you're a sweetheart. Angela was giving me all kinds of props for this event, and I had to tell her I didn't do it. This isn't my event. These are the two madmen behind this event. It's really you. You were the head honcho organizer, and Michael Dunsmore of Dunsmore Games. That's a Twitter X handle. So. That's all he's got.
I didn't know Michael did the tweeting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So Michael Dunsmore is a local amazing man when it comes to hobbying.
Yeah, he's awesome. Super cool dude. Yeah. And many of the boards, I think between Zach and Michael, probably accounted for like 60 or 70% of the terrain at Maelstrom Mixture. He's such an amazing craftsman and such an all-around awesome dude. Did a ton of work for us, and then also sort of not weirdly, like 2 weeks before the event, his family's house in Alaska had a pipe burst, and he had to like leave for 4 days to like go turn off the water and like coordinate contractors that were ripping out like moldy carpet from the basement.
Yeah.
So he kind of had this life emergency at the last minute, but
he's busy.
But anyway, yeah, Michael did a lot of the terrain work for the head table. It was great.
This was this is my favorite board of his, aside from the top table.
Yeah.
This is his Cloud City, and so it's like the ground is broken up above these like floating clouds and stuff, and it's amazing. Like
he imagines this sort of as a world where like chaos has sort of like causing the crust of the earth to like break apart. It's not really so much like Avatar with like floating islands as it is like chunks of the ground are sort of breaking apart and floating off, separating. But the whole board is like you can see it here, like on these 10, 12-inch tall rods, and there's like clouds beneath it, and there's like all these like 6 islands that are sort of placed at different heights relative to each other with these like platforms connecting them. It's an incredible table. And then this year he built some sort of chaosy buildings to go on top of it, which kind of match the theme.
Yeah. Now Dunsmore is also an actual board game designer.
Yeah, this is his day job.
Yeah, this is one of, I think, like his first games that he's ever designed. We Need to Talk. We own that one. He's done more since.
Yeah.
That's the one that springs to mind. So, I mean, this guy's the real deal. Like, when we invite him over to board game nights, like, he'll bring over a new game every time.
Yeah.
And he is masterful at explaining
He is
board
the
games.
best
It's
board game explainer of anyone I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, if he knows how to play a game and you're like, who should explain how to play this game? If he's in the room, like, you should definitely choose
It should be him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Molecule, thank you for your thank you for your
Molecule.
sad super chat. Sad, giving up hope. Guess who was that
Guess who
vote?
wrote that one? Yeah.
Thank you, Molecule, for your...
There were other event organizers as well.
Yeah, let's get to that. Okay.
Oh, Graham and John.
Yeah.
Yay.
And you guys saw them on stream.
Briefly, right?
A little bit, yeah. They were talking about their missions for a little bit each. I think Bryce was also streaming.
Bryce was on stream, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a picture of him in here at some point. Oh, Zach put the cat in here for some reason, and now it's yelling at me. Guys, don't forget to use your members' super chats as well. Ooh, party lights.
Yeah.
Get out, Joplin.
Joplin, he couldn't resist.
That was weird.
He wanted to hang out. Yeah. So Graham, his sort of claim to fame, he did all of the missions. He was sort of our mission dude, our head dungeon master, if you will, for the narrative portion of the event. He wrote one of the war zones, but he also was sort of just in general, if there was any sort of continuity questions about sort of cross war zone plot lines, or he sort of had the final say on mission design and formatting and gameplay elements. Is this like too powerful? Is that too powerful? How should we do our Warlord upgrades? He was in charge of all of that kind of stuff. Super cool dude. Really, also sort of very good at sort of game balance and coming up with clever, fun things that also like play well. Awesome guy. And he didn't play in the event. Neither did John.
John actually hung out at the hobby table for a little bit, so that was nice.
John did all of our graphic design, and he ran our meetings. He designed the little like upgrade cards that we were talking about.
Those were cool.
And had those made. He did a lot of work on helping out with terrain and stuff. So like super helpful. Really appreciate all of his work. And then Bryce and Jason were the two other people on the planning team. Bryce wrote a war zone, did a lot of terrain work, and Jason was just kind of a really good sounding board for all of our different ideas, and he did a bunch of mission play testing, and then the day of the event he was doing a lot of table setup. It was just a ton of like physical labor as well. But anyway, so massive thanks to all of the folks who helped kind of make this happen.
Yeah, it can't be one person. Like when
Yeah.
you see how crazy this thing is, it's like,
Yeah.
no way does one person do this whole event. Thank you, Liberty Fires, for your membership, your gifted membership.
For
I guess
Joplin.
in honor of the cat.
In honor of Joplin.
Thanks, Joplin, for getting us a membership out of Liberty. Memberships are the best way to keep our channel alive and to tell us that you like what we're doing. So if you're already a member, it's a great way to introduce the channel to somebody new.
Right.
If you're not a member, it's a great way to become one by becoming one.
By becoming a member. Yeah. That'd
Yeah.
be awesome. We would really appreciate it.
All right, who's next? I actually don't know what's next in this slideshow. Oh, it's us. There's Angela.
All the peeps. Oh, there's Angela. Yeah, that's a great photo.
I
of
love
all
this
of
one.
us. Zach's like,
Like our natural faces.
Zach's just like, what's going on here?
I know. He's like, get me out of here. I'm too busy. We got to meet Angela from Hobby Night, as we called out. Hobby Night is in chat right
She's in
now.
Chat. Yep, she's in chat.
Chatting with us, hanging out. We have plans with Angela.
Uh-oh.
I actually got an affirmative from Angela today. Angela, feel free to shush me. I'll give you a few seconds, but we'll get back to that. Angela streamed with us. That was like totally random.
Super cool.
We were not planning on that. You know, we just wanted to say hi to Angela. We told her about the event. We're like, come hang out. There's a hobby area. Come check it out. And she got there and she's like, can I stream with you guys? Like, and I was like, yes, we would love that.
Yeah.
And I think our fans really liked meeting Angela. And her fans were happy to see her on our channel too. That was super cool. They were really nice in the comments. So if you guys are here today hanging out with Angela in our chat, welcome.
Both communities seem to really respond well to the other.
Yeah.
It was cool.
All right, and Angela's saying I can tell them. So April 22nd, that's another Wednesday, Angela's going to be joining us on stream.
What?
And we're going to do something Star Wars. We're going to do a Star War.
A Star War?
A Star War, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you picked up a Star War prize.
I did. And I don't think it's in here. I don't know if I put it away yet. But I got a Star War box.
Star War.
Yeah.
One whole Star War.
One whole Star War. And I told Angela, it's funny because Angela is a Star Wars girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like a Lord of the Rings girl.
Yeah.
And so that'll be fun. I don't know. It's good because we'll be able to chat Star Wars all stream and I'm going to be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, she'll be able to teach you all about the various wars in the stars.
Exactly. Yeah. She'll teach me what every single Star War is.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Is it just going to be the two of you, or are we all going to have a chance to hang out with Angela?
Do you want to?
I mean...
I'm into that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
The more the merrier. It's a Wednesday. You're local. That's easy for you.
Yes, I do.
Okay, Brett's in. All right, Brett's in too. Zach, are you in? Saray, are you in? Who else is in? Molecule?
Molecule's going to drive down
I mean
2
May.
hours.
I mean May, Saray. Come on, you guys know it's May.
May?
Yeah, May 22nd. April's over.
April? Oh, okay.
I said April, I guess.
Oh, God.
I got too excited.
April 22nd.
I was so excited. I wanted it to have happened already. Yeah.
11 months from now. Yes.
That's when it's happening.
We are planning far out, guys.
We are planning far out. We also have plans, super special plans with Angela in the fall. And we'll, we don't want to make like super far in advance promises that we might feel like breaking. So we'll hold on to that one. But yeah, we're excited to hang out with Angela, both on her stream and our stream. So you guys be on the lookout for that. We'll let you know. Side note, this banner got a lot of compliments on it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. What do you guys think? Should we turn it into a shirt? Like an all over print shirt? Would you guys like that?
Ooh. Can we just like hang it on the back wall someday too? Would that be a fun thing?
That. Yes. Okay.
It doesn't need to be a permanent thing, but we could have like special events where we get to hang it on the back wall.
Yeah. What was the Star Wars prize? Was it Shatterpoint?
Shatterpoint.
It was Shatterpoint. It was a Shatterpoint box. I don't remember which box. Do you?
There was a Jedi in it.
There was a Jedi.
There was a lightsaber.
There was a lightsaber.
I tell you, that prize, I'm gonna break the fourth wall a little bit. I won that prize at Adepticon, and I don't play Star Wars. So I was like, I'm gonna put this on the prize table for Maelstrom Mixer, and then
so it wasn't even.
If there's somebody, I mean, I didn't get it donated.
Right.
Like
that's so funny.
But it was a re-gift.
Yeah.
It was a re-gift.
Re-gifted.
Yeah.
All right. Fam is saying to turn it into a shirt. Let's see what you guys say. All right, Obi-Wan. That's what Hobby Knight said. It was Obi-Wan. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, guys, that was like the big gist of the event. We do have like some photos that we'll just cycle through. I think I might switch this to random or automatic. Nah, we'll just go through it. But the rest of the photos are of the tables and the players and their the minis on the battlefield. So we'll cycle through those while we continue talking about Maelstrom. Let me do that actually. Let's put it on automatic. That will make my life easier.
Are you getting a lot of painting done, Meg? Because I'm not making a ton of progress on my designated hobby project for today because I'm just so excited talking about all this stuff. I feel like that's the way these things go though, right?
Yeah, I'm let's switch to automatic. There we go. I'm getting some progress done. Let's take a look actually. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back to this. Yeah, Lumix.
It's been a long time since I've assembled a metal model. It's not painful. This is painful.
So, okay, cool. I just finished 5. I shouldn't say finished. What I'm doing right now, I'm doing these little details.
Look so good, Meg.
You guys are so sweet.
These
the one that
guys
I like
are so
best.
amazing. I
like this
so
one
impressed
best.
with this paint scheme. This is like the hobby collab paint scheme,
Aww.
by the way.
Okay. Well, thank you. Okay, so here's like, oops. Where's the camera? There it is. Okay. All right. Let's actually remember, like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but this is what I did on the very first stream. Our very first stream was Raptidons.
What?
And it was testing out if we wanted to prime in black or white and what that did to the colors. And so you'll notice that some of these are really bright and some of them are a little more drab.
Right, because they're painted.
Because I just wanted to have some like variety on the table without it looking super different. Anyway, so what I'm doing right now is like all of these little hatch marks on the legs in orange. So right now I'm working on orange because basically I'm hatch marking everything the whole way down.
This is similar to like the cloth thing that Devin taught about.
So this is before and this is after. Is it?
He was showing like different cloth techniques and there was one that was hash marks, wasn't it?
Oh. There are hash marks involved.
Yeah, okay.
Hatch marks, but I would say I'm being chunkier with this than Devin.
Sure. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but it's maybe similar.
Sure.
I'm trying to draw a parallel. Maybe one doesn't actually
You're
exist.
being sweet and comparing my work to Devin's, which I appreciate. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Did you want to show any of yours or are you good?
No, I am just fighting with this 2-part.
cleaning.
If you've ever built a Crutox before, this is one, normally I like metal models, but my gosh, the metal Crutox is just absolutely awful. This is the first one I've ever built. I own 9 of them, and all of them are secondhand. Oh. I bought them, they're eBay rescues, and I've had to do some touch up. You know, they arrived like a thing had broken off or whatever, but I've never built one from scratch. And this is one that I unboxed from a blister, also secondhand. Like I got it on eBay.
Nice.
Oh, look at this. It says $750.
$750.
This was like.
Wait, is that the original price tag?
Yeah, the original price tag was $15, but then it went on sale for $750.
Wait a minute. How old is this box?
Probably
2000.
2004, something like that.
So you think it cost $15 at the time?
At the time, yeah.
Wow.
And this is, I don't know how much this. A box of 3 is probably like. Well, it's probably like $55.
Yeah.
So maybe it's actually not that much cheaper. All right.
Or sorry, worse because it's metal. Do you prefer metal or plastic? Do you have a preference? I can't.
I like the heft of
You're one of
metal
these
models.
guys that likes metal, yeah.
And actually, the
weight.
Many of the secondhand models that I own, I got because a friend was like, I can't handle carrying around this army case with 9 Crutox that are all metal. So he replaced them all with fine cast. They didn't have plastic models then. And he was like, and then he just put all the metal ones on eBay. And I saw his eBay listing and I was like, I recognize that guy. I actually know him. And so I sent him a DM and I was like, hey dude, like I really want your crew talks. Can we work something out? So,
Yeah.
like, can you just pull down the listing and I'll just like make you a fair offer? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And so I got all of these crew talks as a result. But
Yeah.
yeah, it does a number on your back. Like my army bag weighs a ton. These are
Models.
so
Oh my God.
freaking heavy.
You should do weightlifting with your army boxes.
I don't know. Liberty, does that count?
Yeah, Liberty.
Do I get
Instead of measuring by,
by pounds?
pounds
it's by
or
points. I'm doing a
or like
2,000 point curl here.
kilopounds or whatever they use over there. You just measure it with models.
Yeah.
I threw 20 models in there today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
these
I think that counts.
are crazy. I've never built one from scratch before. I am glad I only have to do one. Like there's only one that I have to build to get to 9 crew talks. But yeah, this is insane. I am so appreciative of the people who built the other 8.
I am doing a little bit of cleanup really quick. There we go. Okay.
All right, slideshow.
Yeah, let's go back to our slideshow. So we can keep talking about Maelstrom Mixer.
Yep.
Guys, I would like to know if you're in chat and you caught our coverage the day of, and you're obviously catching our recap now, can you please let us know what did you like about our coverage?
What struck you?
What have you liked?
So,
and what have you not liked? What would you like more of? Tell us everything.
We got a lot of
It was our first time.
lot of feedback in the moment.
Had to pop our cherry.
Live
Yeah.
Live Warhammer coverage is notoriously difficult. Like,
oh my God.
War Games Live does an amazing job of it.
I know.
But he is kind of one of the few who's been able to sort of crack that formula, and he exclusively does, I don't know if exclusively, but he focuses on competitive events, big GTs, and he travels around the country, and he's got it kind of all optimized with his mobile videography rig, etc. But we were just kind of winging it. Like we made some like educated guesses, and we did a bunch of planning, and we did a little bit of prototyping and testing. But like this is our first shot at it, and Meg, you did a ton of work in advance ahead of time, but like we've never done a live event before. And
I did not want to be behind the camera. Like I did not want to be producing because I was like, I don't know how to play 40K, so I'm going to miss it. Like I'm not really sure what I'm looking for here. And it's not like we're keeping track of stuff, right? We weren't. It's not that kind of game, which was nice.
There's
but
no
I was
score
like,
really to track.
I don't know what camera view it should be on, right? Like things like that. And Zach was so on top of it. He was there all day. Like it became that was his big role throughout the weekend. And he was really on it with the players. He's like, what round is it? They would kind of shout back to him. Yeah. And like he could tell what was happening based on what the players were doing, which I'm sure any 40K player, if I was watching Sigmar, I could probably figure it out by watching. But it was not as easy as like streaming at home where you're sitting there talking to the players. Right. You can hear everything that's going on and you know when it's the next turn and if they're missing something, whatever, right? Like, so that was interesting for us. So I am curious how fam felt about it.
So Liberty, I'm reading your comment here. Was there ambient noise during the breaks? I guess I don't know, but
sometimes there was, and sometimes I think we had it on mute.
On mute, okay.
I think it was just like
oops.
However, the last person.
That's good feedback,
yeah. What would we like? We would like more music. The silence, yeah. Oh yeah, so it could scare you when it came back.
Yeah, we did have the thought to sort of have an outward facing sort of venue cam and an overlay that would say like we'll be back soon. But yeah,
we did have that.
We did have that.
We just muted the cameras.
We just needed to
so that we could talk.
Add an audio element. Yeah.
Yeah. We should do that next time. But that's an easy fix, you guys. So done.
That's good.
Done.
Good feedback.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
What else? Soups like the back and forth between table and commentators.
Yeah.
Which I didn't do. I think that must have been Zach.
Zach was, switching back and forth between the
When I was back there, I was just hanging out.
some players were sort of more interested in talking through their decision-making process and sort of getting into Luther and Eric had a really cool dynamic during game 3. I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was Bryce and
right.
Who was playing Bryce at the end?
It was
Tom. No. What's his name?
No, I don't remember.
I don't remember his name now. Okay, sorry. We'll come back to it.
But yeah, some players had like sort of a better, sort of more casual flow than others. But yeah, it was cool to see sort of how different people responded to having a camera pointed at them.
It's not easy, is it?
It's not easy.
Oh my.
Be entertaining.
Broken Chef. Wish it wasn't 40K.
Yeah.
James. It was James. Okay. Thank you, Soups. Yeah, we have really been. Sorry, we're usually a little more engaged with chat talking, but there's been so much to talk about. I haven't really been looking at chat today. Yeah. No offense, guys. There's just a lot of Mixer stuff. And we're gonna be taking a break soon to do critique.
Critique.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay tuned, Liberty. Your critique's coming up.
It's your turn. It's your turn. But yeah, so how did you feel about streaming when you were back there?
These pillars that you see on the screen here were also painted by Meg on a recent hobby show. So yeah, there's a lot of tables that had terrain elements featured on the hobby collab in the lead up, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I put everyone in the studio to work painting terrain for this event. And Zach painted a bunch of trees, which all got used.
Luther's was great for adding the narrative to the game. Luther was very narrative.
He was so entertaining.
Oh, I know.
Sorry, I don't think Luther uses he as a pronoun, but...
they, right?
They,
yeah. Luther was funny. Had a lot of energy, which I appreciated.
Yeah, Luther was awesome. I thought that was super cool to watch.
Yeah.
And Luther and Eric had a really good dynamic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. It's cool to see.
Liberty, what I'm not sure about, I can't recall what happened, and I wonder how talking about the event during a game made it seem separated, like the game was secondary at times. Interesting. But then also you can't remember what happens during Wargaming live events.
Yeah, I think that maybe we sort of do all of the event navel gazing at the start or like between rounds, and then during the game we just focus on the game.
Navel gazing.
Yeah, like you know what I'm talking about?
No, I know, it's good. I just never use that, navel gazing.
That's good feedback too. Yeah, appreciate that.
To use navel gazing more?
Yep, to do some more navel gazing.
Please use that phrase more often.
I try to use it as much as I can. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Do you really actively try to use that as much as you... All right.
Yeah.
I believe
Today you learned something about my conversational preferences. Yeah.
Well, I know I certainly didn't help in that regard because, like I said, I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
So
no, that's
I'm
fine.
sorry, Liberty. Yeah. Well, that's good feedback for next year. Brett, did you have a favorite table other than the top table?
So we recreated a table from last year that was a huge, very popular table, a huge popular table, which was the beach landing table.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
So there were two. I'm
sure it'll come up here.
There were two tables that I really liked. One was the beach landing table. It was basically D-Day. We had like a whole like a beachhead with like fortifications on it, and one side was sort of defending the beach, and then the other side was like and then there were like sort of pillars and rocks out in the water that the invading faction could use as cover. Sometimes we would set up like Mechanicus terrain out in the water as like kind of oil derrick-y like kind of structures that you could put infantry on. But that table was super rad. I really like
That
that
was cool.
scenario. Also, like designing a scenario where it's like either chimera that have amphibious, because that's like a rule that they've always used to have. They don't have it in the current edition because water doesn't sort of exist as a terrain feature in the current.
Yeah,
rule
I was
set,
wondering
like,
when I was looking at that table. I was like, are there going to be weird rules for the water?
Yes,
like they
there
can't
are.
like walk in the water. Okay,
I created a
that's
whole
amazing.
like custom set of rules for that scenario where it was like, if you are not in a chimera or don't have the fly keyword or aren't a unit that's embarked in a transport that has the fly keyword, and you like end your move in the water, you lose models.
Like, is it a mortal
They
wound
drown.
roll?
No, they just drop.
They're just
die.
dead.
They're just dead.
Because
So-
their suits are too heavy.
Yep, they drown.
Scary.
drown.
That's like the worst way to go.
Well, I mean,
it's
unless you
not
have
the
fly,
worst.
right? Like if you have fly,
I
you're
know,
fine.
I know. But still.
So it was all about. I mean, I was running the tower zone, so it's pretty easy to have models of fly coming in off the board edge because the tower attacking in that one. But yeah, there were other war zones that used that board without sort of that custom rule, and they just imagined the water was more shallow, and so models could move through the water without, maybe they were slowed down or something. But yeah, it was neat, and that is very like it's a very evocative image, right? Like coming in off the water and the.
Space Marines can breathe underwater. Not narrative.
Not narrative. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
But this is acid water. It's lava water.
Yeah, so
Saray.
suck it, Saray.
It's lava water.
Saray, did you get to play on that board? What boards did you get to play on?
This is on a different planet, Saray. The water is acid lava. It's both acid and lava at the same time.
Oh gosh.
So yeah. How about that for your Space Marines?
Yeah.
It's specifically anti-Space Marine water.
Yeah.
Everyone else is fine, but not Space Marines. So I had a second. Also, there's another really cool table. This was one of John's creations. Michael Dunsmore had a train. Everyone in chat, if you are, please sit down for this story, okay? Because I know you're all going to go crazy.
Calm down. Everyone calm down.
Michael Dunsmore had a 40k scale train in resin that he had in the box. It was sized so that you could put it on, I think, like garden scale actual train track. Like the designers of this model had like sized the spacing of the wheels, so you could just go to the train store and buy like garden scale.
What's garden
train
scale?
track. Like Lionel.
I don't know anything about trains. I'm not that old yet.
I don't know, O scale, Lionel. I don't remember. Like very large train track.
Yeah.
Not and then John was like super excited when he found out that Michael had this piece of this kit, and he grabbed it, primed it, painted it, and built a whole like mission around it. It was a train robbery.
Oh my god. So cute.
And like basically there was like Imperials who were trying to like escape with some cargo on a train, and the train would like move, and the orcs were like trying to jump on the train and like rob the train.
So did the train move down the board?
Yeah. So he ended up doing that.
So
The train
cool.
would like move down the board. But we also were like toying with the idea of doing a scenario where the train was just in the middle of the table stationary, and all of the terrain,
Everything else
all of
around.
the terrain would just like
Oh,
move down the
God.
table, like every turn, and it would like recycle. Like if it fell off the back end, it would like go around to the front.
You know, one of the games did take 6 hours already.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that you did not go that route.
So this was like another idea that we had that I don't think we actually explored fully, but I want to at some point.
It's fun. I guess you could put stuff on tracks and then have a big like box and you just pull it and dump it in the tracks.
I think the rule was just
Shovel it to the other
every
side.
terrain piece would move like 18 inches down the board, and it would just like keep every turn. And if the terrain piece hit one of your models, like if you had a buggy that was chasing the terrain and the terrain piece hit your buggy,
Yeah.
it would like take a bunch of mortal wounds or something.
Okay.
So we didn't actually, I don't think we actually did that, but yeah, we were talking in the event Discord after the event about like people were sort of were talking about their favorite missions, and that one came up. A number of people listed that as their favorite mission, and I did not get a chance to play it, obviously as an event organizer, but I want to go back and.
Well, we have all these boards still.
Yep.
We should definitely use some of them on stream.
You know what? Trains are a thing that exist in like olden times too, right? They're like, we could do an old world train game. I'm sure we could.
Oh, you want to do some old world? Do we
sure
have?
We could. No, sorry, not old world. Like AOS. You know.
You heard that, Zach. Brett's trying to get us to do old world.
I'm trying to get you to do trains.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna happen. So might as well do it on our stream. Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna have to borrow some of that terrain because as folks are pointing out, it would have been nice to see, that's another feedback, would have been nice to see different tables.
Some of the other tables,
on stream. I think that's something that seems feasible between day 1 and 2. Maybe between every game would be tough because of what's involved. And that table that you guys had, that top table that we had was just, you didn't want to move that thing. Like, it was hooked up to so much stuff.
I think what could have been
kind of a nightmare.
I think what could have been neat is if we'd had a wireless hand cam to take around the venue and just like
we'll do that next time.
Even if all of the games that are played are only on one table, at least if we just get to show some of the other tables, that could have been cool.
Yeah, added to the expense sheet. One wireless camera hookup, please. We'll do that next year. That's some good feedback.
Or a really long HDMI cable.
So we can trip everybody.
Yep.
That's narrative. Smash into their... Oh, you're dead.
You're dead.
Yeah.
Sorry. Tyrannid water. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the idea. I think that'll be fun. Train stream. You goofballs. All right. Well, it's 6 o'clock.
What? I don't even have this guy's head on yet. I've just been like building this one stupid metal model this whole time.
I've done enough orange to like get through. Let's see. Okay, here's these guys. So I have these 3 left that I need to put orange on. So I'm actually pretty happy with my progress. This is the last one I did. It's hard to see, but it's subtle, but it's there. All right, I'm happy. Cool.
Nice.
What about you?
Okay.
Let's look at your head. Here's where Brett's
headless.
at. Brett's been shaving away.
This is the one model that I have to build. After I get
Zach
him.
has this. Okay, I remember this.
Yeah, and I think Zach was smart.
I remember this thing.
When Zach built his, I think he was like, I know GW says these are supposed to be on 40mm bases, but I think that's dumb, and I'm going to put mine on 50mm bases because I bet someday GW is going to come to their senses. And you know what? Today is that day.
Welcome, Gray Knight 1. You have a gray name. You need a sniping. Welcome.
Awesome. Yeah, welcome, Gray Knight. Good to see you.
You guys hear the crows? Okay. Well, we have a critique today.
Yes.
So we should probably get to it. Probably.
All right. Strap in, Liberty Fires.
Yeah. You asked for this, Liberty, so you're getting it. So Liberty wanted to know, and he did get some ideas in chat, but we're gonna continue with that because this is a common thing that comes up.
Yep.
But Liberty wants to know how to differentiate his units. The units are the same other than the weapon choice, and so they look.
Well, so
that's what he was calling out.
Maybe I
misread it.
Yeah, there are 2 different units here. One is a legionary, and the other is a chosen. So there are 2 legionary models here, and there are 2 chosen models here.
Okay, but they look similar. Like they're hard to tell apart.
That is his conundrum.
Right.
Is that legionaries and chosen have a similar aesthetic.
Yeah, and I mean, really quickly, a really easy fix for this is, of course, squad marks, guys. Get your squad marks today.
Well, he specifically said he doesn't want to change the color of his base.
Well, that's what's nice about squad marks, guys. They don't change the color of your base. The most you'll see are these little tabs on this. Oh, I'm like pointing to the screen. You see how it's like a disc and there's little tabs sticking up? Like that's what you see. You see those little tabs.
All right.
I've used them with my zombies and skeletons. It's been cool. But anyways, back to what we were
if
talking
that's
about.
not on the table.
I love doing like a shameless plug. It was smooth until I ruined it. Yeah, so what are some ideas that came up to differentiate these guys?
Yeah, I think...
aside from color.
Yeah, so I think the suggestion was floated to add back banners, or there are these like icons with skulls. I think that's typically reserved for like the squad leader, or there's a guy with a mark that you can that's meant to represent. So I don't know that having a whole squad with those is necessarily doable.
Yeah.
But I guess I think this was also floated in chat, but or in the Discord. But my suggestion would be to play around with the amount of the accent color. So you've got the red shoulder pad there, and you've got red on the tabard and red on the power fist. It looks like. But one thing you could do is like invert the sort of ratio of accent color and sort of primary color. So like the whole instead of being the whole model being gray with red shoulder pad, you could have the whole model be red with like a gray shoulder pad. So that would be one. And this is my Tau brain thinking, because this is like how I do my stealth suits. Like all the units with stealthy have sort of an inverted ratio of the accent color and the primary color. So that would be one option.
There's some ideas in chat too. Add, let's see, ecstasy and agony. Skulls on bases. The higher rank, the more skulls.
Skulls.
That's kind of interesting. Like if you have, like you could have skulls piled up a certain way, or something on your base, like a unifying element, but it's positioned specifically a certain way for one unit versus another could work. Yeah, I'm actually going to face this issue with my Saurus warriors because I'm going to mix all the colors together into multiple units. Honestly, I'm probably going to use squad marks, but because I like them. Like, it's not invasive, right?
I think the question is like, do you want the models to look the same, or do you, but that you have some clever way of differentiating them, or do you want them to actually at a glance look like different units?
Yeah. So you can tell. I think that's kind of what I was thinking he was going for, right? He wants to make it easy to tell.
Right.
One unit versus another.
I think that like you don't want the feels bad of your opponent being like, oh, I thought that was the Legionaries, but those are the Chosen. Ugh. Okay. Yeah. I played my last 3 turns thinking those were Legionaries. Yeah.
Because I think the base can also work for you. Like you can play around with the base without messing with the models and do it that way too.
Right.
Although his are on snow, it looks like.
Yep.
So you could have some dead grass on one unit, maybe a slightly different color dead grass on another unit.
Yeah. And that is if you sort of you're okay with them looking the same. Yeah. Yeah. Then there's clever ways you can. So I think transfers is like Grey Knight, thank you, is like sort of the classic way. You just put like the number 1 on squad on the shoulder for squad number 1 and number 2 on the shoulder for the second squad. And that's like very sort of in universe, like how they would do it.
That's true.
There's like the loyalists have the like heavy support, elite, like fire support, different like up arrow, down arrow kind of markings as well. But like, I guess the way I interpreted their question was that Liberty Fires wanted a way for them to look visibly different. Like he wants the Chosen to look like sort of stand out from the Legionaries and like how might you do that with paint or with modeling or with
Saul says needs more pink. Would you say one is better than the other?
Chosen are like the sort of more elite of the two. Yeah. Chosen are like Temple Guard and instead of Saurus Warriors, or Grave Guard instead of Death Rattle Skeletons.
Got it. That unit that I never play correctly.
That you never play, or Blood Knights instead of whatever the other mounted unit is.
The Black Knights.
Black Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I also Borg. Give me my Virgos. Call it a day. Yeah. Well, I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys got some inspiration for ways to differentiate your units.
Yeah, I think my final answer, Liberty, is to invert the proportion of the accent color to the primary color.
Saray's suggesting different color helmets.
Oh, yeah.
That's an easy one, right? Except for the guys without helmets. Just put a big X on his bald head.
Yeah, just paint his bald head the new color. Yeah. Some sweet tats.
Yeah.
I think Liberty Fires was saying that they were trying maybe also some different some head swaps, like using third-party sculpts for the heads or heresy. I think heresy bits would be cool. I think I don't know if in lore, like, I think both Legionaries and Chosen can be like 10,000-year-old guys. So you have tons of flexibility in using heresy bits for helmets and things like that. So you can have one unit, maybe that's another idea. Specifically use heresy bits on, for example, your Chosen as a way to like identify them as being just like really freaking old. They're just they're just old dudes.
Oh, right. Go to the bits.
They've been around. They've seen some stuff.
Apply some bits to one unit and not the other. That's good. Like I said, I have a dream of one day going through all of my bits. So there's no more bits. It's not going to happen.
I even spent and did the like tall grass thing on some of these bases.
I know your bases look so nice.
I spent so much time on it. And I pinned the models to the... You can't see this on here. Here, look. This guy's got little pins.
Dude.
Here, shows like got pins in his... Put them on the other camera.
There we go. You put so much work into this.
Pins in the feet.
Can you guys
so that
see
they
the pins?
so that they stick to the bases because metal models.
Right.
And now we're just ripping them off.
You're
throwing them in the garbage.
Yeah. Starting over. They look so nice, Brett. Oh well.
Oh well. I mean, I'm not going to repaint the model. The model's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I think, how much time do we have? We have 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get all 9 of these onto their 50 mil bases.
Yeah.
Before we're done here.
Okay. We're going to do monthly challenge winner. Oops, in a minute. I'm going to work on some more striping on this guy first. But yeah, we have a lot of fan stuff to catch up on. So this weekend, you guys are going to see a ton of fan stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because we missed it on Sunday.
We were doing events things.
Yeah. But thank you for sharing your work to be critiqued. If you guys ever want your work critiqued on stream, just submit it on our Discord to the critiques channel, and it might end up on our show.
Yeah, that's an awesome feature of the Discord. Honestly, I feel like
it's a feature, not a bug.
I feel like this is something that I've wanted in online communities for a while, which is a very like clear and obvious differentiation of like, I am posting this picture just because I want like
Oohs and ahs.
External validation,
which is
very valid
and fair.
We all want that. Sometimes I don't want critique. Sometimes I just want.
Sometimes I want to be showered with affection.
I just want to try to get as many emoji reacts as possible.
Yeah.
And other times I want to actively like try to improve my game and like get critique and feedback on a new technique, or get advice on how I can up my game on some particular element. And those, like, it's hard. It can be hard to understand what somebody's looking for if they're just posting pictures without any context.
Right.
And so the fact that we have different channels, one for just like whip, work in progress, and finished, which is sort of, if you read between the lines, it's like these are the channels for oohs and ahs, and the critique channel is for constructive
feedback.
Yeah.
And even if you aren't featured on the show, we have such a wonderful community that loves to chime in, because we're all trying to get better. We're all at different stages. We all have different goals. And giving feedback can be just as beneficial as receiving it, because it forces you to take a critical eye.
Yep.
And it might force you to take a critical eye on someone like, Devin or Timbit, a couple of Golden Demon finalists, right? Like, and they ask for feedback, and that can be scary. So it's good practice for you to have that critical eye and not just say, yep, looks good.
And then once you sort of understand how to take a critical eye, because you've done it a bunch, of somebody else's model, you might then be better equipped to do that for yourself on your own models, and that way level up your own painting. So it's cool. And it is kind of a neat part about our Discord community.
And speaking of our Discord, and speaking of leveling up and hobbying and all that stuff, let's get to our monthly challenge winners. Oops, there we go. So here's our entries.
Describe the challenge?
Yeah, let's talk about our challenge. Actually, let's do the rules first before we show the entries. For those of you who are new and haven't joined our Discord yet, you should. It's great. It's great fun. We have a monthly challenge. Every month there's a new theme chosen by our lovely mod Soups here on the left. And you can submit a piece that will fit that theme in whatever way you make it.
Yeah.
Just include the hashtag crowing for it. Any channel you submit it to is fine. As long as it has that tag, we'll find it.
And just to clarify, it doesn't need to be hobby related, although obviously we all are sort of joined by our shared love of this painting hobby.
Yeah.
So it very often is, but we've had people submit pictures of their garden, or pictures of some items they knitted, or pictures of a painting that they painted on paper.
Yeah.
All of that's is totally valid.
No reason why you can't submit it. And there are prizes, of course, aside from, status. You get a Discord title. We have a Castellan Crow mini that Soups is painting up in 12 pieces. You get to own a 12th of it.
You get to give Soups instruction on how he is to paint 1/12 of the model.
Yep.
And then he will execute your vision.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, after we've done 12 of these, he will pick, we'll randomly select.
Well, I think we'll probably vote. Yeah, we'll
okay.
vote on a winner, and then you will get to keep the whole miniature.
And somebody will get to, some lucky person will get to keep the whole thing.
And so our entries for last month, our last month theme was illusion.
Illusion,
yeah.
Often they are related to the month, right? Spring, there was a spring one, and there was a new beginnings.
There was beginnings.
New beginnings.
Was that?
And
there was, okay, so February was love, of course. Right? Love and romance.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure what illusion was related to on the calendar, but
maybe Soups will tell us. Yeah. But these were some of the entries. They were fantastic. We had a really tight race when we were voting. But of course, there was only one winner, and that winner
only one.
Was Madman. So congratulations, Madman. The illusion of your weathering, I think.
The illusion of being dirty. April Fools. Good call.
April Fools, yeah.
Checks out.
So we loved this mini. We loved all the minis, but this one won.
This is so good.
And so make sure that Zach, I know you're there. Reach out to Madman. Give him his prize. Because we do ship physical prizes too. And congratulations.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Soups, give him his emoji. Do it.
Madman's been working on this this model in the Discord, sharing pictures of his progress for a while, and it was cool to see it finished and in time for entry into the April competition.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah. Thanks again for submitting. It is a new month, and so we have a new theme, and that theme is power.
Power.
Guys, everybody has a sword they can turn into a power sword, I'm sure.
Yep.
There's your entry, right?
All right, Soups, how
now
does
go
this...
from there.
I get April Fool's illusion. That makes sense. How does power relate to May? Help me out here.
Yeah, is it the May showers and lightning storms, maybe?
Maybe.
Oh,
yeah,
that's my guess.
electricity and yeah,
the theme is electricity.
The theme is Nikolai Tesla.
Yeah, so thanks you guys again. And thanks for keeping our community vibrant.
Yeah.
Yeah, in our Discord.
Thank you so much.
It's very
It's
special
super cool to
us.
see all the entries popping up usually towards the end of the month, which is fine. But yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we have a couple minutes. We can keep painting, or we can show off our working. Where are you at? You got all your bases clean.
I got all my...
You did it. Here, let's...
So, no,
let's put it
I've
on
got
camera.
gaps I can fill. We can wait a little bit.
Okay, let's do that then. We've got a few minutes, so we'll keep on keeping on.
I'm recently, so I mixed up some milliput before the show, but I'm weirdly not loving it for this purpose. I've instead been using this stuff. This is well, maybe
What's that
it's
called? Yeah, let's turn on the Lumix for
Vallejo
it.
plastic putty.
There you go.
It's basically just, I think it's just like acrylic. It says it's acrylic product. It shrinks a lot when it dries, I've noticed, and it doesn't dry super hard. It stays sort of rubbery almost. But it dries quickly, which I appreciate. And it's softer. It comes out of a tube, you know, it sort of is like a paste almost.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier to work with than, say, milliput or green stuff for just filling small gaps. But yeah, I'd had a couple different people recommend this to me for gap filling and wanted to try it out. Super thick paint, yeah, pretty much. And I mean, it seems like you would want to use that instead of green stuff, like for
always.
gap filling.
Yeah, for little things.
I mean, it's not structural. Like green stuff and milliput are actual epoxy products, and so they will they'll attach and bond two parts together. Like you could assemble a model with green stuff, and it would sort of glue the model together. This will not do that. You know, like you'll need to glue it together first and then use this to fill gaps.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it. It's a definitely, you know, it's for a different purpose, but it's been good. I experimented with it a little bit in the lead up to Mixer as a way to fill drainage holes in resin 3D prints.
Drainage.
And it didn't do great there because the holes were just kind of a little too big.
Yeah.
So this isn't really good for big gaps so much. But yeah, for gaps in metal models, which to be fair is a thing that doesn't really, that is a problem that not many people have anymore.
Yeah.
Why am I taking this on? I wasn't gonna ask. My hipster, my tendency to lean into hipster things is coming back to bite me.
That's okay. Wait, hipsters like metal models?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
You're a hipster.
Oh yeah. I'm a hobby hipster, Meg.
You
didn't know this about me?
There's a meme in there somewhere. I know you like to hobby your hobby, but I didn't realize that was a hipster thing.
There's like street cred points for doing things the harder way. You know? Like there's this like badge of whatever that you get when you're like, oh yeah, I like built the metal version of that model. I could have just bought the plastic one, and that's easy. But I built the
oh man, so impressed.
20-year-old metal version that like took me way longer to do.
All the chicks like you.
It looked even worse when I was done, but yeah, I suffered through it.
We should do a challenge where you and Zach airbrush something using only those old airbrushes that he's decided to start collecting.
Yeah, has he talked about that on the channel?
How a little bit,
He started this other hobby, which is restoration and of like old airbrushes.
Old airbrushes that have like almost no control.
They have no control, and like
Yeah.
getting spare parts for them is super hard.
I'm like, why are we bringing this
'Cause he's
into
a
our
hipster. 'Cause
lives?
he's a hipster. He's just a hipster about airbrushing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're almost ready to call it. If you have any burning questions, now's the time. Although,
What's our
I'm not
schedule
sure
for
what
this
you
week
would.
like?
What is our schedule for this week like? Let's see. So we have a game on Saturday.
Yep.
Who's playing? Do we know who's playing on Saturday?
I
Zach,
asked,
tell the people who's playing.
as
We
I-
just talked about this
as I
last.
asked this question, I was like, oh shoot,
I don't know the answers.
I'm not sure Meg
know what?
knows the answer.
I'll just pull it up. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Actually, let's do this while I put our actual schedule up, because again, we might have some new folks in chat today. So today is our Wednesday stream, 4:30.
Wednesday hobby stream.
4:30 p.m. PT.
Yep.
And Sundays at 10 a.m. So if you guys are enjoying the show, come back on Sunday.
Come back on Sunday.
We're going to be doing something else. I'm opening
more
up
hobbying.
our schedule right now so that I can tell you what we're doing. And then we play Age of Sigmar on this channel. Mondays for members only if you're a member. If you're not a member, now's a good time to become one.
Consider joining.
Yeah, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. And those are open to the public and come with a really weird introduction every time.
Yeah,
It's
kind of the fun, weird thing that we do is weird introductions. Yeah.
Yeah. So this Saturday is going to be Gloomspite Gitz versus Sylvaneth.
Oh, awesome.
That'll be fun. That's Steven and Brad. Zach's going to be producing. I'm going to be out next week. I won't be here, but you're going to see a lot of me after that. So, you know.
Is this business or pleasure, Meg? You going on vacation or you got a work trip?
It's a bit of both.
Okay. Cool.
I'm
You don't
going.
have to go into detail.
I'm going for work, but I'm going to have fun because I'm going to
cool.
meet a lot of my coworkers in
Oh,
Austin.
it's coworker meet up.
Yeah.
Get FaceTime with the team.
Yeah. Chris.
Okay.
Chris wants to know if we're streaming on Mother's Day. We are streaming on Mother's Day.
Mothers like Warhammer too, Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Mothers want to see their precious children
No,
creating content on stream.
all the mothers out
So they
there
can be proud of them.
who want to watch us on their day, we wouldn't not want to
Yeah,
disappoint
mothers.
them.
Yeah. We won't let you down.
Yep. If all you wanted to do on Mother's Day was
Oh,
kick back and watch Hobby Collab.
there's a cat in here.
You see the cat ears down there? Yeah.
Come here. Come here, say hi.
It's becoming a cat stream, guys.
He still lets me grab him by the scruff. Here's Bartok. You guys are meeting Bartok. Okay. But Brett,
Yep. Are we done?
I think
I'm
we're-
like frantically trying to get
I
like
mean,
the last little bit.
we
on
weren't
here.
going to finish, right? We're just hanging out. We're enjoying talking about Maelstrom Mixer,
Yeah,
hanging
okay.
out with you guys, with fam. I'm glad we got to finally announce our monthly challenge winner
Yeah.
because we're like a week into the month now. But yeah, I think we did it. I think we
Can
can
I show off my,
let's show
my
off
army of
your hard work.
dinosaurs? Okay. All the dinos. Sorry, Bartok. Dinosaurs coming through. Brr. Brr. Yeah, we were. I was doing some list building today, and all of my lists started with one greater Narlock. Here's the greater Narlock, surrounded by 9 Krutoks. And I was just like so
we
in
go.
love with the idea of this battle formation. It's like all the giant dinosaurs. So now they're all on 50 mil bases. I'll have to go back and actually like redo the basing materials. But this is going to be my Tau army in 10th edition apparently.
It looks great. I mean, I love the way these are painted. You're not repainting these, are you?
No.
Okay,
Just
they look
have
great,
to. I
just
just
the bases.
GW
Okay.
changed the base size.
Yeah. Right.
So, and I only had 6 of them painted and built, and so the last 3 had to get put on bases, and will have to be painted at some point. But
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Do you guys want to see some beans too? People tend to like beans. Nah, I'll break his little paw if I show him Show them the beans. Yeah, I still have a ways to go, you guys. So this one is actually finished. But after I get all of the hash marks done, so you can see like it's sort of like rainbow changes down.
Yeah.
I have to wash in some blue. I have to paint the wraps on the tail. I have the gold to paint. And then my favorite part, like the tail highlights, all that stuff. There's a lot left. My favorite part will obviously be the face. They're so cute. They look like little chicken boys.
That's amazing.
So that's where it's headed. We'll get there. But anyways, I think we did it.
We did it.
And we want to say thanks again for joining us. And thank you, Mandrills.
Thank you, Mandrills.
You guys do that extra effort every month. We appreciate
really
that.
appreciate
It keeps us going. Helps us invest in more stuff for the studio and more ideas for shows for you guys.
Yeah. And appreciate all of you putting up with all of our Maelstrom Mixer content for the last few weeks. We're going to return to sort of a more normal content schedule coming up and topics. But it was a big deal for us, and we were really excited to put on that awesome event and share kind of the process with you. And now that it's over, we get to kind of go back to normal again.
Yeah, it takes a village.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, so with that, guys, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and always be creating.
Bye-bye.
Bye.